Good afternoon, y'all. I'm Rose from Grandma Rose's Open Pantry, and Christmas is Monday, and I'm trying to get some of my last minute things done today, and I'm going to make 2 pecan pies. One is going to be full sugar, one is going to be like 75% less sugar. So in my bowl here, I have got 1 stick of butter. Now, I'm not going to put salt in this because my butter is salted. I always put a little salt in my sweet things, but if I use salted butter, I don't always. Okay? To this, I will add 1 heaping teaspoon, and this is a heaping teaspoon of vanilla. That. You about through, baby? You just getting started. Roy's outside with the smoker today. All right, I'm going to add 3 eggs to this. And I'm not going to beat my eggs before I put them in because I'm going to beat them really well with the whisk. But I do crack them in a separate bowl always. All my eggs. Because it's easier to get a shell out of this than it is out of what you're making. Okay? So I'm just going to whisk this up real well. And my pecan pie is just really, really simple. Real simple. So I'm just going to whisk these eggs up real well. Because if you whisk a little air in them, it makes your pecan pie just a little bit better. Not quite as dense. Now, I do not use corn syrup in my pecan pies. Either one. The less sugar or the full sugar one. I do not use corn syrup. But if I did, I would use K-Row. K-Row has no high fructose corn syrup in it. Okay? Now, to this, I'm adding 1/2 cup of white sugar and 1/2 cup brown sugar, packed brown sugar. All right. I've already got my vanilla in there. I've got my butter. And I'm just using a prepared crust in these little metal pans like you get in the grocery store. In the refrigerated, in the frozen part, because Christmas time I take shortcuts. Okay, you want to get all that sugar mixed in real good. All right. Now, all else I'm going to put in is my nuts. Now, this is, I call this nut pie. I think I said pecan pie. It's not a pecan pie. It's a nut pie. It's Brazil nuts, English walnuts, and pecans. And so I'm going to measure out for you. And I've chopped my walnuts, and I chopped my Brazil nuts up some, and I chopped my pecans. You'll find a whole one here and there, but that's okay. All right. 2 cups of nuts. Now, you can use whatever nuts you like. We just really love this combination. Brazil nuts, English walnuts, and pecans. It makes the best pie. The best pie. Okay? I forgot to turn my oven on, y'all. But that's okay. All right. Now, I'm just going to put my mixture. Now, this is a traditional, this is not a deep dish. I might need a deep dish. But my filling is going to soak down in those nuts, so it's going to be all right. But it's going to be a full pie. All right. Ooh. That is a full pie, y'all. All right, I'm going to set it to the side. Everything goes in All right. Everything goes in this one that went in my pie, except I'm using Sukrin, which is it's a syrup and honey alternative. It's 0 sugar. I'm using this, and I am using brown stevia, the 0 sugar, and I'm going to use a little bit of white stevia in this. So I've got to get all that back. I've got to get my eggs out and then melt my margarine. Goodness, I haven't used margarine in years. Melt my butter. I'll be right back. Okay, I said I was going to make this one less sugar. I'm going to make it totally no sugar. Okay, so we've got our 3 eggs, just like we put in the other one. After all that, I didn't melt my butter. Okay, but I'll go ahead and get my eggs whipped up, and then I'll melt my butter. And I'm going to put a half a cup of butter in this one, just like I did my other one. Okay, I'm going to get my eggs all whipped up. Y'all, this is so funny. I smelled something. I thought it was one of my eggs. It's not. I've got some beef stew on back here. It's onions. So I put some onions in to cook with my meat, and it's the onions. I thought, that egg looks good. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong with that egg, but it's the onions from this Instant Pot behind me. All right. And I'm not going to put salt because I'm going to use salted butter. I'll go ahead and get everything in here. A heaping teaspoon of vanilla. All right. This is a 1/4 cup of stevia, white stevia. This is a 1/3 cup of brown stevia. I'm going to mix that up. Now, when you make it sugar-free, your pie is not, it doesn't have that, like, it's drier on the inside. It doesn't have that little jelly-like, it does when you use sugar. So, it's just a little different texture. Just as good. Well, no, it's not as sweet, but we like it just as good. And so, all right. Now, to this, I'm going to add my Sukrin, and I'm going to put 1/3 of a cup of my Sukrin in there, which is the honey syrup alternative. I'm going to have to order some more. I'm about out. Now, here you can use the sugar-free maple syrup if you prefer. Okay. And this does give it a little bit of that texture of a real one pecan pie using sugar, but it just doesn't have the same texture. All right. My brown stevia had some little knots in it, some little lumps in it, so I'm going to have to get those out. And sometimes they're hard and hard to get out. You know how in brown sugar sometimes you get those hard little clumps, and sometimes it takes a little bit to get those out. And that's what's happening here. I'm going to take my finger. They are hard. I mean, they're not hard. They're just, my whisk just won't get it. So I'm going to have to take my finger and crush them. They'll crush. The whisk just won't get it. Here's another big one. And my fingers are clean, y'all. Y'all know I cook with my hands. Okay. There's still a few more in there. I don't know why my whisk is not getting them, but it's not. Okay. Wash my hands. My oven just came up to temp. Ooh, there's a big one. See, it's just crushing right up. But okay, now, here's my other pie crust. Let me get all this out of the way. I've got my white stevia, my brown stevia, my Sukrin, eggs. I got to melt my butter. Let me melt my butter and I'll be right back. Okay, I got my melted butter in here. And now I'm fixing to put 2 cups of my nuts. That was Brazil nuts, English walnuts, and chopped pecans. So I got 2 cups. And the way I do mine, I don't mix my pecans in with my filling. I just pour my filling over my pecans because they're going to rise to the top anyway. And this will give them a really nice, shiny glaze. Okay. Now, I may not get all of this in here. I don't know why this one is making more than the other one, but it is. All right. We got all but a couple of tablespoons in there. All right, my oven is up to temp. I'm going to slide these in, and I cook mine for about 50 minutes. Now, I won't have to cook the sugar-free one, the one with 0 sugar, because it cooks quicker than the other one does. It takes the sugar longer to cook. So probably 40 minutes on the one with no sugar and maybe 50 minutes with the one with sugar, but I'll come back just as soon as they get ready. All right, y'all. This is my sugar, the one that has 0 sugar. And as you can see, the dark brown stevia that I used in it made it cook darker, which that's perfectly fine. We like it. We like it like that. And this is the one that this is my one with sugar in it. And I am not about to cut these because these are for Christmas and they are hot as blue blazes. I just took them out of the oven. So, but I just wanted to show you, I keep saying pecan pie. They're not pecan pies, they're nut pies with 3 different kinds of nuts in them. So, y'all just ignore pecan and no, I mean to say nut. So, thank y'all for joining me. And if you never made a nut pie, you need to try it. Whole nother level. So, thank y'all for joining me today in making my sugar-free and my regular pecan pie. Food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul, and we're going to enjoy these Christmas. Please share this video, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, and this is about my 3rd or 4th video today, so I'm not going to make another but I'll put them on at different times. So we'll see y'all later.